This beautiful woman married a millionaire unaware he is not a human being. In one long hiss, the python changed into a handsome young man. He was tall, clean, and elegant, wearing a very expensive dark suit. His shoes shined and his wristwatch sparkled. His hair was neat and his face looked like he came from a magazine. In his right hand, he carried a heavy black suitcase. Without looking back at the tree, he walked out of the forest. At the edge of the road, a black car waited. Its body shone like a mirror. The man opened the driver's door, put the suitcase on the passenger seat, and drove into the busy city. Lagos was full of lights and loud music. Horns honked, people laughed, shouted, and danced. The man drove calmly to a popular nightclub. Blue and red lights flashed at the entrance. He stepped out and people immediately noticed him. Nobody knew him, but from his suit, his walk, and his car, they could tell he was rich. He walked into the club where people danced, drank, and shouted. The DJ played a hot song and the crowd went wild. The man walked to a quiet table in the corner and sat down. He opened his suitcase and bright lights shone from it. Inside, bundles of cash were stacked neatly. People nearby gasped, phones came out, videos started, and everyone stared in shock. Then the man picked up 2 bundles and walked toward the stage. A young woman was dancing gracefully. Her name was Chiamaka. Her hair bounced, her smile was bright, and her moves were sharp. Chiamaka was the center of attention, but she had no idea her life was about to change. The man sprayed money around her. People screamed and recorded videos. Chiamaka smiled wide, dancing as the cash flew. Finally, the man returned to his table. Chiamaka could not resist. She jumped off the stage and sat in front of him. "I haven't seen you here before," she said, catching her breath. "My name is Emeka," he replied with a calm smile. Then he asked the question nobody expected. "Will you marry me?" Chiamaka blinked. "We just met," she laughed nervously. "It doesn't matter. Some things are meant to be," Emeka said softly. He opened a small box, revealing a sparkling diamond ring. Chiamaka gasped. "It's real," she said. "Yes, it is," Emeka nodded. She looked at him, the ring, and the suitcase full of money. "Yes, I will marry you," she shouted, jumping. The crowd cheered. Chiamaka ran home as fast as she could. Her heart beat quickly from excitement. She held the diamond ring carefully and carried the bag full of cash Emeka had given her. When she reached her room, she pushed the door open. Her friends, Ify and Tenny, jumped in shock. "Chiamaka, what happened?" Ify shouted. Chiamaka didn't answer. She held out the ring. "Look," she screamed. The diamond sparkled. "Is that real?" Tenny asked. "Yes, a real diamond," Chiamaka said, smiling. Then she opened her bag and bundles of cash spilled out. Ify and Tenny froze. "Money!" Chiamaka shouted. "Emeka gave me this and proposed with this ring." "Are you sure you didn't steal it?" Ify asked angrily. "I didn't steal anything," Chiamaka said, sitting proudly on the bed. "I told you to come to the club with me today, but you refused. Now see." Tenny whispered, "We are happy for you, but is this safe?" Chiamaka hugged the ring tightly. "I'm going to marry him. My life has changed." Deep in the forest, the golden python moved again. Its eyes glowed like small lamps. Slowly, it twisted, cracked its skin, and turned back. Python moved again. Its eyes glowed like small lamps. "Let me go and meet my woman," he said proudly. Slowly, it twisted, cracked its skin, and turned back into Emeka. He put on a nice suit, smiling. He drove to the club where Chiamaka waited. She ran to him and hugged him tightly. "Why is your body so cold?" she asked. Emeka smiled. "It's just the air conditioner," he said calmly. Her friends greeted him politely, but Tenny still felt uneasy. Something about Emeka was unusual. Inside the club, people shouted, "Boss, spray us again." Emeka nodded slightly, calm as ever. Chiamaka held his arm proudly. Everyone stared at the rich, mysterious man. After the excitement at the club, Emeka drove Chiamaka and her friends along quiet, beautiful streets. Streetlights glowed softly, and expensive houses lined the road. Flowers grew around tall fences. Chiamaka's mouth opened wide.
"Where are we?" she asked. Emeka stopped in front of a large duplex. The house looked new, clean and expensive. A small garden glowed under the lights. Emeka stepped out and pointed at it. "I bought this house for you, my queen. It is in your knee." Chiamaka screamed so loudly that even the gate shook. She ran to him, hugged him, and even lifted her legs in excitement. Ify and Tenny clapped and shook their heads. "This is too much, too fast," Tenny whispered. Chiamaka danced around the compound, touching the walls, laughing and hugging Emeka again and again. I love you, she shouted. Emeka held her gently, but his smile was different. It was calm, but something hidden behind it felt strange. Deep in the forest, the giant tree trembled slightly. It was as if something was waking up, watching, waiting. Chiamaka had no idea what was happening. The next days felt like a dream for Chiamaka. Emeka's money made everything easy. He bought her clothes, jewelry, and gifts. Her parents were happy. Her father smiled all the time. Her mother bragged to the neighbors. "My daughter is marrying a rich man," she said proudly. Ify and Tenny helped Chiamaka prepare for the wedding. Ify was proud to be with her friend who had become important suddenly. Tenny, however, still felt something strange. She kept quiet but stayed worried. The wedding day arrived. It was grand and colorful. Musicians played, cameras flashed, and luxury cars lined the streets. Chiamaka wore a sparkling wedding gown. Emeka stood beside her, dressed in white and gold. But something was unusual. None of Emeka's family came. No father, mother, sibling, or cousin. People whispered, "Where is his family?" But after seeing all the money and gifts, nobody cared. Love and wealth had covered everyone's thoughts. Chiamaka and Emeka moved into the new duplex. Chiamaka felt proud and walked confidently wherever she went. "I am a big woman now," she told her friends. "My husband is a millionaire. Everything I want, he can give me. I will sit down here and eat like a princess that I am." But she had no idea. Emeka wasn't going to any meeting. He was going back to the forest, back to the giant tree, to his true form. Every night, under the moonlight, he became a big python and hid in the shadows.
Since Chiamaka got married, her husband Emeka has never slept in the same house with her. He only come in the morning, and when it's night, he will vanish to the forest and transform to his true nature, the snake. Chiamaka is worried, and she has made up her mind to confront him. One night, Chiamaka was in their bedroom, holding a small mirror while doing her skincare. The room was quiet, the lights bright. She hummed softly, enjoying the calm. Suddenly, she heard the door open. "Emeka, is that you?" she asked. There was no answer. She continued applying her cream but lifted the mirror to check her face and froze. Behind her, in the reflection, she saw something impossible. From the waist down, Emeka had a long, shiny, golden python tail. It moved slowly, alive, shimmering in the light. Chiamaka gasped, her hands trembling so much that the mirror slipped from her fingers and fell to the floor. She turned around slowly. Emeka stood there, looking completely normal. His face was calm and handsome like the man she married. "Is everything okay?" he asked softly. Chiamaka's heart raced. I saw something in the mirror, a tail," she stammered. Emeka's calm smile disappeared for a moment. "What tail?" His eyes sharpened. "It was your imagination," he said quietly without explaining more. Then he stepped out, closing the bathroom door. Just like that, he vanished as if swallowed by the shadows. Chiamaka's legs felt weak. Her whole body trembled. She could not sleep that night. She paced around, checking mirrors, afraid to see the same thing again. The next morning, Emeka returned, as if nothing had happened. He wore another expensive suit and greeted her calmly. "Good morning, my love," he said with a gentle smile. Chiamaka forced the smile too, but the image of the tail haunted her mind. She wanted answers, but Emeka only touched her cheek and asked, "Why do you look scared?" Chiamaka stayed silent, unsure what to say. Emeka smiled softly, but there was a strange glint in his eyes. "Look, my love," he said, "you are overthinking these days. I told you to sit here and enjoy my wealth. Do not let anything scare you. You didn't see anything. It's just your imagination." After that, he stepped out. The big house felt too silent, too empty. It didn't feel like a normal home.
It felt like a place where secrets lived. Her phone suddenly rang and she jumped a little. It was her mother. Chiamaka breathed in deeply and answered with a small smile in her voice. "Mommy." Her mother's voice was full of joy. "My daughter, my beautiful wife, you have made me so proud. Everyone is talking about you here in the village. Make sure you hold your husband well. I am so proud of you." Chiamaka managed to smile. "Thank you, Mommy." Her mother continued praising and thanking God. Chiamaka listened quietly, nodding, but inside her heart, her fears stayed untouched. After her mother calmed down, Chiamaka sighed and said softly, "Mommy, I want to tell you something." Her mother immediately became serious. "What is it?" Chiamaka looked around the dining room, even though she was alone. Then she spoke in a quiet voice. "Mommy, yesterday night, I saw something strange in the mirror." "What did you see?" her mother asked quickly. Chiamaka swallowed. "I saw something that looked like tail." "Tail? What kind of tail?" Chiamaka closed her eyes. "A python tail. Long, black. It was moving. Emeka is like he has a python tail."
So Chiamaka continued talking to her mom on phone about the tail she saw in the mirror. "Mama, I saw a python tail, long, black. It was moving behind Emeka. Emeka has a snake tail." There was silence on the phone for a second. Chiamaka continued talking fast, but when I turned to look at him, he was normal. I think maybe it was my eyes. Maybe I was tired or something. Her mother suddenly raised her voice gently, trying to calm the whole matter. "My daughter, don't talk like that again. Don't allow strange thoughts into your mind." "Mommy, but Listen," her mother interrupted firmly. "Emeka is a good man, a very good man. He loves you. He takes care of you. Do you know how many women are praying for that kind of blessing? The devil can whisper nonsense into someone's mind. The devil wants to destroy good marriages. He will start putting strange ideas in your head, trying to make you fear your own husband. Don't let that happen." Chiamaka wiped her face gently. "So you don't believe me?" "I believe you are stressed," her mother replied. "Maybe you have been thinking too much. Don't say such again." "Okay, Mommy." They spoke for a while longer, then the call ended. Chiamaka dropped the phone and sat back slowly, her eyes unfocused. Even though her mother spoke with confidence, her heart did not feel settled. Just then, a loud knock came at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Chiamaka stood up quickly and walked to the entrance. When she opened the door, her friends jumped happily into the house. "My friend, owner of a mansion, show me around." Chiamaka laughed a little for the first time that day. She held Ife and Tenny's hands and took them around the house, showing them the large living room, the beautiful kitchen, and the wide bedroom. Her friends were happy for her. "Chiamaka, this is heaven. You are blessed." Chiamaka smiled softly. But after all the excitement, Tenny suddenly turned serious. "Chiamaka, can I ask you something?" Chiamaka nodded. Tenny lowered her voice. "Does your husband still sleep outside?" Chiamaka looked down. "Yes, he still goes out every night. He says he works at night. He leaves at night and comes back every day morning." Her friend's face twisted in confusion. "Every night?" "Chiamaka, please don't be angry. I know you think I don't like Emeka," said Tenny. "But I'm saying this because I care for you." Tenny took a deep breath. "I think you should conduct a secret investigation." Chiamaka blinked rapidly. "Investigation on who?" "On your husband," she whispered. Chiamaka's eyes widened. "How will I even do that?" Tenny leaned closer. "Follow him. Use your own car. Don't let him know. When he's leaving the house at night, follow him quietly. See where he's going. See what kind of work he's doing." Chiamaka looked scared and confused. "Tenny, I don't know if I can do that." "You must," Tenny insisted. "Something doesn't add up. A man who leaves home every night and returns every morning, a man whose family never appears at the wedding. Chiamaka, open your eyes." "Follow him," Tenny said again. "Just once, you will see everything with your own eyes." Chiamaka was quiet for a long time. Then slowly, she nodded. They talked for a little while longer, then her friends left. Chiamaka remained standing in the living room alone, thinking deeply. Her heart beat slowly, heavily. She wasn't sure she was ready, but she also felt she needed the truth. Hours passed. The sun went down. Darkness slowly filled the house. Emeka was inside the house somewhere, getting dressed. Her heart began to beat faster. A few minutes later, she heard his footsteps coming down the stairs. She quickly pretended to be busy arranging things on the table. Emeka came out wearing a dark suit. "I'm going now," he said softly. Chiamaka swallowed. Okay, safe journey. Emeka kissed her forehead and walked out. As soon as the gate opened and Emeka drove out into the night, Chiamaka rushed upstairs to change into simple clothes. Her hands were shaking so much. She grabbed her car keys, turned off all the lights, and quietly sneaked out through the back door. She entered her car and waited until she saw Emeka's lights turning at the bend of the street. Then she started her engine slowly, very slowly. She followed him from behind. Her heart was beating louder than the sound of her car. She prayed silently, "Please, God, let nothing happen to me tonight." Chiamaka was about to see the truth. Chiamaka continued following Emeka that night, her hands shaking on the steering wheel. The road was quiet, the moonlight touching the trees on both sides. Emeka's car moved fast but steady, and Chiamaka kept her eyes on his red lights. She refused to blink, she refused to look away. She wanted to see where he always disappeared to. But suddenly, vroom! A speeding car overtook her so fast that she screamed and gripped her steering wheel tightly. Her heart almost jumped out of her chest. By the time she steadied herself and looked forward again, Emeka's car was gone, completely gone. No sound, no light, no turn, no movement, nothing. Chiamaka stepped on her brake and stopped the car right there. Tears of frustration filled her eyes. She hit the steering wheel hard with both hands. "What is happening? Why can't I catch him?" she shouted to herself. After a few minutes of confusion and fear, she turned her car around and drove back home, her mind full of unanswered questions. The next morning, the sun came out early, but Chiamaka felt cold. Her whole body felt weak. As soon as she woke up, she dialed Tenny's number and told her everything. Tenny sighed deeply. "Chiamaka, listen to me. We need another plan." "What plan?" Chiamaka asked tiredly. "You have to make him sleep deeply, very deeply. Put sleeping pills in his food tonight, very strong ones." Chiamaka's eyes widened. "Sleeping pills?" "Yes," Tenny replied. "If you can make him sleep early, it might reveal some things we don't know about. Just trust me." Chiamaka thought about it. It sounded dangerous, but she was desperate. She needed the truth. When the call ended, Chiamaka sat quietly on her bed, thinking for a long time. Her hands shook. Her heart beat fast. "I must know the truth," she said. That day, Emeka arrived just as always, smiling, acting gentle, acting loving. Chiamaka kept her face straight. She didn't want him to suspect anything. That night, she served him food, hiding her fear behind a small smile. Before serving, she had poured very strong sleeping pills inside, pills that worked fast, pills that could make someone sleep in minutes. Emeka ate slowly, talking about how sweet the food was. Chiamaka didn't say anything. She only watched him carefully. 5 minutes later, Emeka rubbed his eyes. "I'm feeling strange." Chiamaka nodded quickly. "You should rest a bit before you leave." He sat on the couch in the living room, leaned back and closed his eyes. Within minutes, he fell asleep. Chiamaka's heart began to beat so loudly that she felt it in her ears. She walked to the bathroom and took a short shower to calm herself. She stayed under the water for a long time, breathing deeply. But when she returned to the living room, she froze. Her breath died in her chest. Her eyes grew wide as if she was seeing something from another world. Emeka was lying on the couch, but he was no longer fully human. A very long, thick, dark python tail stretched out from his clothes. It touched the floor. It moved slowly. It glistened under the light. Chiamaka's mouth opened wide, and then she screamed. She screamed with everything inside her. She screamed so loudly that the entire estate could hear. She didn't think, she didn't breathe, she didn't look back. She ran out of the house barefoot, tears pouring down her face. She ran past cars, past everything. She ran until she reached the estate gate. The security men grabbed her, thinking something terrible had happened. "What is it? Madam, what happened?" they asked, trying to hold her steady. Chiamaka could not speak. She could only point toward her house, shaking violently. The security men looked at her confused. They didn't know what she had seen or why she was crying that way. They tried calling Emeka, but his number was suddenly unavailable. 3 of them rushed to her apartment. They searched everywhere, but they found nothing, no sign of Emeka, just an empty house. Even his car had disappeared, and nobody ever found him. Chiamaka's life continued, and she was pregnant, so her mother encouraged her to remove it before she gave birth to a snake baby. She removed it and stayed quiet. She stopped clubbing because she believed people meet wrong spouses in the club. Chiamaka will forever live to tell the story of how she married a millionaire, unaware he was not a human being. Thanks so much for watching.